Rolf.
One of my professors was named Rolf.
Interesting.
College. He was a cool guy. He looked kind of like Zenyatta too, actually. Now
Wow,
that I think
that's offensive.
no, Zenyatta's beautiful.
Zenyatta is a robot. Are you
But he's
saying your professor
beautiful.
looked like a robot?
I mean, he acted kind of like one, so maybe he was.
Did he float?
He was always seated when I saw him.
I've never seen Zenyatta seated, so...
What happens if he gets hit by a Reinhardt? Then he's seated.
Oh my goodness, then he's dismantled. All
But
right,
he's
so
still seated.
on the defense, again, oh, now we actually do have the crossfire comp we talked about a little bit before. So
Yeah.
Torbjorn and Soldier and McCree all can stay up on those ledges. If the attacking team goes for one of those 3 targets, the other 2 basically just lay into them. We do have an attacking Genji that's going to be played by Exion, who used to be called Dump Truck, if anyone was in the closed beta back then. He did change his name at release, but Exion immediately going in on that Soldier, who was discorded, so some nice coordination there from Inside Joke, definitely, to secure those early kills on Exi and Wolf.
Oh yeah, and he almost got the turret of Torbjorn, barely stayed alive. Can he get there to heal it? No, it will end up going down. So great early start, but actually, just as they say, the Exion goes down.
Yeah, I'm watching ZZA now on the attacking team, as they did have a couple of users still up, but it looks like the defense mostly respawned at this point. It looks like they will maintain their grip on the point. Who is this actually? There's a diva out here who just went down. That was Acrosajet. Acrosajet?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's an interesting one.
It's a cool name. Yeah, a good attempt there. They actually did get the first tick though, so they made some progress on the payload. Very good start by Inside Joke here in this game. But look at the stats or the strat here with the Torbjorn and the Zenyatta. Zenyatta at 275 hit points. Like that's actually, I didn't think I'd ever see that
It's
happen.
nutty.
Imagine if they had a symmetry too.
Yeah, so actually, I read this, have not confirmed it, but I read that shield on top of armor means that armor is applied to the shield. Now that sounds crazy to me, but apparently in testing, that is actually how it works. So Zenyatta, of all characters, actually benefits more than anyone else from armor as a result.
That's so nuts.
So I'll try to verify that in the future, or if you know for a fact one way or the other, you can let me know. But that's something that I read on Reddit recently and have not been able to test myself.
Okay, well, 2 minutes left on the point. They're just kind of trying to wait, sync up their ults, and get ready for a big push. They do have that Dragon Blade ready. They almost have the Sound Barrier. That's really what they're waiting for. Sure, they have Transcendence available, but they want to save that for the mid-fight, initiate with the Sound Barrier if at all possible. They're coming through the back hallway on the point. Their Deadeye being cast in the back there. And Winston going deep, knocking 3 people down, so that's put them a bit out of position. Can Inside Joke get this point?
The Deadeye did secure a nice kill on the Winston. He's taken a few free shots at the Torb. Now does get the kill there. Transcendence on the point, and the Diva Explosion actually picking up a kill there on Exi. Zenyatta still pretty squishy overall. I mean, when it comes to McCree laying into him, there goes Rolf down now. But looks like the offense actually doing okay here. Now that the defense is flooding back in, though, Psycho Waffle doing a good job keeping everyone up, and the offense not doing a good job taking out that Mercy, means that one shot will actually retain their grip on the point once again. Although 2 ticks have been secured, there's only 1 minute left now for Inside Joke to try to secure that point and get that payload moving.
Yeah, and when it comes to their ultimates, I mean, they have Dragon Blade, they almost have Primal Rage. It's not a lot. Those support ultimates are quite a ways away. They don't have the time, though. They really just need to get in here. They need to utilize overtime to the best ability. Psycho Waffle nearly has the resurrection for the defense as well. So this is going to be a hard push for Inside Joke.
Here comes the Dragon Blade out now. He's going to immediately die to Jay Olsen on the McCree on the opposite ledge. That is a damage-boosted McCree, by the way, so he can very often kill people at medium to long range now with just 1 or 2 shots if he does have that Mercy damage boost, and of course that is part of their composition. That's why everyone focused down Jay Olsen. But now, even though Jay Olsen's down, Mercy still has a great target there with Exi on Soldier. And keep in mind, Exi was playing a second tank the last time that we saw him play on Zarya, but instead they're going with a 1 tank and 2 support setup here for defense against a more skilled team. I will give them that. Inside Joke did make it all the way to the round of 16 here, so they're definitely showing a little bit more prowess. But here we go, Exion diving straight up there again after the Soldier, trying to eliminate that source of damage. Zenyatta's up there too, so he may actually switch off, but no, he does force the Transcendence, and now Exi popping his attack visor, watching him shoot down onto the point while the offense pops their Tranquility Transcendence, keeping everybody alive. Across the Jet is going to be alone on the point as D.Va, and that's never a good time for her. She's going to go down very easily. Winston is raging out, but not on the point. Notably, that is going to allow overtime to tick down, and defense will maintain. All they've got to do now, One Shot just needs to take point A, and they will win this first map in Ambani.
So when Cherry User on Winston launched in on the point, he was actually at 99% meter for his ultimate. He didn't actually manage to get it off. This was before that last re-entry into the point. So he didn't actually manage to get it off in time because they had one more tick, just too much burst from McCree. With him dying so quickly, that Zenyatta, who had Transcendence onto the point, hoping that he was going to be going in to keep this Primal Rage Winston going to town and enable his team to push on in. It was all, with nothing to really enable that Transcendence. So just kind of all fell on its face when that Winston wasn't able to stay alive for Primal Rage.
Okay, so now the Lyrist in chat is actually saying that armor does not apply to shields, which I think makes more sense. So I'm glad that is the case. The Lyrist being one of your mods, so hopefully trustworthy.
The Lyrist, yeah, he is very much trustworthy.
But I remember reading it and just thinking, this is stupid. I hope that it doesn't work like this. But again, I did not have time to test, so I hope that Lyrist is correct, and I'll be more satisfied with that answer, because it just doesn't make sense why shields would behave as armor just because it's underneath the shield. Doesn't compute. But either way, do you think shield should be on top of armor or armor on top of shield? Because now we know that it actually goes below the shield. Do you think it should?
The armor should go below the shield, right? That just makes sense.
I suppose if you think of a shield as an actual shield surrounding a character, yeah, I suppose so. And armor is kind of like part of them.
Right, the armor, they equip it, and the shield is like some kind of bubble surrounding them.
Okay, I can deal with that. I was just thinking armor because it does take that reduced damage. Logically, it would be the first to be depleted, but either way, I guess works out in my brain. So I'm going to be watching Ultima Wep on Genji because he is one of the best Genjis, if you didn't know. We were watching him on Reaper earlier, but now it's time to bust out the secret sauce, so to speak, as they're attacking Nambani. They're immediately going to jump on that Reaper, but Wraithwalk was fast enough to allow him to escape. Now taking some free shots over at that Roadhog. Roadhog's stock has actually dipped just a little bit through the patch changes, in my opinion, just with D.Va getting a little bit of a bump and his ult taking a little bit longer to charge. But Cherry User does go down in the end to that D.Va. Exi now flying forward, trying to find that squishy Zenyatta in the background. ZZA, Godhand, Crossajet, Endless, all down now. And it looks like One Shot should have no problems in just the first 50 seconds already securing 2 ticks. No one on defense nearby. That's going to be map number 1 for One Shot. And that is why they are the #1 seed in this qualifier.
Very, very clean. Great entry to the point. Just like you mentioned, Exion went around the back. He was unmatched the whole time, even with the Wraithwalk getting up there of Exion when he got low very early on. They had no damage. He had to retreat. He had to fall back. He wasn't in the position he wanted. They were looking for early kills, and ultimately on that Torbjorn in the defense, silencing the Monkey, desperately trying to get on the point at the very end of the first half.
He did lay a lot of damage into that Winston, but also body blocked him slightly to keep him from extending overtime. So nice skills there from Ultima Web's Tor, but also best Genji. It's just funny when you see characters having to swap around like that. He played a nice variety of characters. Actually, several of the one-shot folks have wide repertoires, and you kind of need to unless you're a Mercy player. If you're a Mercy player, you basically get Mercy and maybe one other character for when they don't need you to be Mercy.